you want to know what kind of partnership possibilities there are, which means you need to read American Style Magazine, American Craft Magazine, Metalsmith, and find out what stores and are doing co-op advertising. You know what co-op advertising is? Let me show you.
Everyone's doing it now.
Does everybody like free advertising? Yes. Raise your hands if you like free advertising. This is advertising that is free. What you do is you call your retailers and you invite them to participate in your ad. And you break up the price of the ad into 4 or 5 or 6, divided by how many galleries you have. You might want to pitch in a little bit, but this is a way to get great advertising for nothing. It's okay for you to put your website on the ad as long as you are not taking orders from anybody in the area of your co-ops, okay? So this is Marianne Richmond's ad. It's a gorgeous ad. It's very elegantly done, and she's got 3 galleries there. She might have given that to them for free if they purchase a certain amount from her for the year. She might have at market said, look, Joanne, you are my favorite gallery. You ordered $4,000 from me last year. If you order $5,000 from me for the Christmas season, I will include you in my January ad in American Style Magazine. All right, so there's a way that it's free for the gallery and it's free for you, and everybody gets a little piece of it, okay? So that's one. Here's another one. Here's a co-op ad that's regional. Artists in a certain area of the country, this is Benicia, California, they all got together, artists and galleries, studios and galleries, and they got together to promote their town. Cultural tourism ad. So they were able to take the price of a full page ad, which is like $2,700, close to $3,000, and divide it among 5 people. That becomes somewhat affordable. This also gives them a reason to work together on all kinds of other things, like First Fridays. Okay, all kinds of other events. So now that they're having lunch together and talking about what they want to do, they can do a brochure that's like a gallery walk brochure. They can do all kinds of things to make it work. They can each pick a concierge to talk to at a different hotel, and they can all go out and prompt the concierges to give out the brochure or copies of this ad. There are all kinds of things that these galleries can do to increase their business. I want to tell you about, well, let's go on. Here's another one. These are similar artists that have a similar style of work, and this is something Shana should consider doing. Get together with, this is 8 artists that make work that they think is complementary, and they know that they have similar customers, and they got together to do their own ad. If they had bought a 1/6 of a page or a 1/4 of a page, individually it would have been a lot more than dividing the 1 full page up into 8 different parts, 8 different bills, okay? This one is another similar artist, 8 to a page, $275 to $300 a piece. Beautiful ad, they're all listed. They all got an opportunity to show their work. Snag does a co-op ad. Look at how many people, that one is $215. So you can do it by guild. The big thing is you want to make sure everybody's got good photos. You don't want to be sitting next to somebody that has a bad photo. Okay, this is an ad for our co-op opportunities, and this is something that we put together for soap and lotion people. vendors, okay? So that gives you an idea of how you can actually do advertising
Would
for
you
the market.
explain how advertising,
What it all is,
I mean,
I can do that. I'm going to do that.
okay.
What you want to do in advertising, I see all the time artists advertising in magazines that go out to professors. You want to know who this is going. Why would you advertise in a magazine that goes out to only other artists? Why would you advertise in a magazine that goes primarily to only academics? Who do you want reading your ad?
Shoppers.
Collectors, right. You want passionate collectors and shoppers reading your ad. So you want to know what the readership profile is for every readership segment of any magazine. You want to know the age, the income, all of that stuff. And any magazine that doesn't have a readership profile for you, you do not want to advertise in. It doesn't matter if it's an audited publication or not. The audited publications will tell you that it does matter, but as an unaudited publication, a lot of small publications that have niche markets and niche readers don't, are not audited, formally audited.
What's an audited magazine? What's an audited versus a not audited magazine?
Well, an audited magazine means that you've filled out a whole lot of paperwork and the post office has certified that you mailed this many, and it has to be a certain percentage of the number that you print, and you can't do so many free magazines, and there are rigid rules to being an audited magazine.
So who would be an audited versus a non-audited?
That's a good question. I would say JCK is probably an audited magazine.
Okay.
But JCK may not tell you how many Chinese manufacturers are getting their magazine. That's something you want to know, don't you? Because you would rather be in a magazine that doesn't go to China. Niche magazine does not go to China. Ever.
Wendy, one thing you mentioned, and if it's not a good time to talk about it, I just wondered if you'd come back to it. You showed a co-op ad, and you mentioned that it's okay to have your website as long as you're at such and such. So, I just wanted to ask you about that, or if
yes,
you could come back.
I think we talked about that a little bit last time. I recommend that if you have a website for your jewelry business or your craft business, that what you do is a triple key markup on your website. If you are going to show prices, you do a 3 times wholesale markup. Because that makes every store that you have your work in look cheaper than you, which is great. That's where you want to be, because you never know. A store in Beverly Hills has to get a 2.8 markup. They don't have a choice. They're spending $200 a square foot, $300 a square foot for space. Okay? So what you want to do is a triple key markup, 3 times your wholesale price. And then if somebody calls you from Iowa and they did not see the ad in American Style magazine that has your 3 galleries listed, and they heard about it from a friend of a friend of a friend, then you can sell to that person if you want to. But you also have to know that your galleries may be making random calls to you to see if you will sell to a customer. They very much appreciate when you turn a piece of business over to them. And when you turn a piece of business over to them, you have made a friend for life. Always on your website, say, these are the stores that carry my work. I recommend that you go here to find my work. But we all know that some of you have ambassadors that you've known for a very long time that always want your work, and if the gallery does not have those pieces, and a gallery is not carrying a good representation of your work, then you may want to sell direct. And when you do, you should get a damn good markup for it.